2015 ITM Cup is proudly brought to you by the Tui Brewery.
Welcome to the Spud Capital. The Pies fans have turned up and the county's faithful, as usual, have arrived at Ecoline Stadium. Round 3 of the ITM Cup for 2015. Coming to you live from Pukekohe tonight as the Steelers and the Magpies go round again. What a rivalry these two teams have built up over the last couple of seasons. In fact, the last two matches have both been Ranfurly Shield games, and both of those games went to the challenger. Hawke's Bay, the current holder. The Shield not on the line tonight, but certainly some bragging rights are. Never an easy place to play. Poppy the Goats made an early appearance tonight, and the banner's up in the neighbour's yard as well. Just a wonderful evening for running football, and we're bound to see some of it. Have a look at this Hawke's Bay side for starters. Big talking points. Ben Frank's back in tight head tonight with Edmonds and Dixon in the front row with him. Michael Allardyce and Mark Abbott in the second row tonight. Tony Lambourne, Tom Stanley and Brendan O'Connor, the loose forward trio. Wilson and West in the halves with Hurrell and Buckman, should I say, in midfield. Shannon Chase replacing Ryan Tongia on the wing tonight. Izzy Dagg lining up at fullback again. There's a shot inside the sheds. Time to welcome our co-commentator tonight, Jeff Wilson.
A lot of great interest in this game because so much at stake for both of these sides. Of course, Counties at home looking to get their result after that game against Canterbury last weekend.
So back shortly are in Firth, the front row tonight. Puliasi Manu was put on the bench, but he has been invalided out of the game. Nambo and Rarasia preferred in the second row tonight. Tupou, the captain, joined by Onosai Alva'a with his first start of the season, and Mama Vaipulu back into action this week. Jalen Francis in the halves, Fa'auli and Vaka in the midfield. And out the back it's Frank Halai, Tony Pulu and Sione Fifita. As I said, a glorious evening here, and we are joined on the sideline tonight by Carl Tenana.
Yeah, thanks, Simo. Yeah, you're right. Beautiful conditions here. Sideline, the pitch is outstanding. As you said, highlighting the two teams, I'm sure both of these backline want some good ball.
Putting the tusks up. The kids in the tunnel here. I just think you spoke about County's performance against Canterbury, and as Tanu Umaga said in his pre-match chat, they just had to defend for too long. They won't want to do that tonight. I think he's given them licence to really have a crack at this Hawke's Bay D.
Well, Canterbury can do that too, can't they? They can hold on to the ball for a long period of time. Different story though, Counties at home, and when they get on a roll at home, they are so difficult to play against. Got plenty of pace and excitement. Of course, Frank Halai, Pulu, Fifita on the outsides. I think they'd like to use them tonight, and that's that licence you're talking about. And when the forwards do the job up front, which they can create space. And those three guys, that back three, can be electric.
So Brendan O'Connor will lead out the Magpies side. It's a reshuffled back three given the injury early in the season to Gareth Evans. So Craig Philpott has had to have a real think about the balance in this loose forward trio, but we know Brendan O'Connor will give 80 minutes. Very strong over the ball, and he's complemented very well in this loose forward trio by Tom Stanley, the youngster in 7, and Tony Lambourne, who Craig Philpott singled out as one who's really impressed over the first couple of rounds, Jeff.
Yeah, it's a great combination, those three working together, and then you put Abbott and Allardyce in front of them, who are hard-working locks who get around the park and clean out the rucks so they can do the little things that they do so well. Defensively, that whole back five of that forward pack are very, very good.
Counties Manukau side, 1-1 for the season. They were very good attacking-wise against Manawatu. Week 1 here at Ecoline Stadium, although they let Manawatu back into the game and just found themselves coming up short in that final 20 on D. Again last weekend, they spoke about their defence and about the time spent tackling. We mentioned it earlier, they want to run tonight, and they've got some players who can.
Well, for them, it's actually probably about putting together an 80-minute performance. We saw about Manawatu. There was 70 minutes of really good stuff, and there it is. Ma'am by Pulu. We know what he can do, ball in hand. So good off the back of the scrum. Defensively, he's a monster. He smashes people, and when he can get over the ball and steal it as well. The combination they have with Ava'a and Tupou, that is something special and something they look forward to using tonight.
Yeah, our statistician Paul Nazer, KT, putting together the notes this week, said neither side will get a lot of change out of the middle tonight, and I fear he's right, KT. It's going to be a big battle, especially around the fringe.
Oh, most definitely. As Goldie's highlighted, I think that loose forward, Mama Vaipulu, Jimmy Tupou, and Onosai Alva'a, they're going to be staunch in this one. Can't wait.
Referee tonight, Aki Aso out of Japan, as New Zealand continues to run a refereeing exchange program, and it's good to see him coming in here getting some ITM Cup time as he did last year.
It's a good referee. I like what he does. He's been in and around Super Rugby as well, but getting that experience. I like what we're doing here. We want to develop the game all around the world, and if he's getting this opportunity, of course, Super Rugby, that expansion, we're hopeful we'll still go into Japan, and maybe we'll see a lot more of it at Super level.
Good luck with that. We might get a lot of chat out of Vassor tonight, and here is our local hero man today, Thomas Harvey. He's out of Pukekohe East Primary School. He says his favourite All Black, Jeff, is Aaron Cruden. Man of good taste. And his favourite stealer is Augie Pulu, and he's giving it to the bank as well. What a champion.
Well prepared. He knew exactly what he was going to do when he got out there. Get a bit of time on TV, jump at the chance.
Lovely touch from the organisers this year to have a local rugby playing kid bring the ball out, and he'll stick around too for our hometown hero later on after the match. Ash Dixon waits, and Tom Stanley tries to shake something off. And we are underway. Referee Aki Asor blows time, and Piers Francis with the kickoff. That's a great nudge to start. And gobbled up by Michael Allardyce. They'll set the ball, Hawke's Bay. And Ellery Wilson just checks on his options as the forwards go to work. Pops a short ball up. Straight back into the mix as Onosai Alvaa made a nuisance of himself. Now Buckman running upfield like a drunken Clydesdale, and he sets play. Abbott is there, and then the knock-on comes. So a scrappy start for Hawke's Bay early.
Yeah, passing under pressure. The defence from Counties coming up very, very quickly. And early on in games, you're always going to see that. The battle up front. And there he is, Ben Franks. Some All Blacks in the last couple of weeks have come back into ITM Cup, and the impact on them, or on the teams, has certainly been felt. And you combine that with Israel Dagg at the back. Hawke's Bay will be looking forward to seeing what they can do for them tonight. There it is. Two forward packs. Counties have done a good job up front so far this season. Can you continue that tonight?
We're up against the best scrum in the competition in terms of percentage. Counties Manukau have been turned a couple of times this season. Not this time, though, as Vaipulu finally gets the ball out. Finds Judd, and Judd takes on two and loses the ball in the tackle. They'll come straight for another scrum. Hawke's Bay to have the loose head. Richard Judd's a great story, isn't he? Playing club rugby at Thames Valley, part of the Thames Valley setup. Brought in as emergency cover by Tana Umaga, and he starts his third straight ITM Cup game.
Yeah, fundamentally sound halfback, and you like that, coming from the provinces, from the heartland regions, and recognising Tana Umaga. He needed some insurance, he needed some depth, and he found a young player who's got a lot to offer at this level. Well, a lot of pressure on early in this game. Both teams, you can see a willingness to keep it in hand, and just guilty of forcing the pass.
Wilson feeds. Stable as you like, that Hawke's Bay scrum. Now it starts to get away from O'Connor, and Wilson just clutched at the ball, and we'll have a third straight scrum on a third straight unforced error.
Not the sort of start either team would have been looking for, KT.
No, it was a good platform too there, G, from the scrum. You see here, faking to go right. He was just propping to go back left for that stack. That siding high. Where's the Aiden press with his half?
So what he saw on Onosai Alvaa's shaved head, he got the frights. Frightened me when I saw him in the tunnel earlier too.
Well, I'll tell you what, he got out there far too early, didn't he? Ball wasn't at the back of the scrum. Telegraphed where it was going. He knew it was coming. So it's a great attacking opportunity for Counties.
Have to win their scrum. Judd defeat, they get penalised. And Jared Firth pulling down on Doogie Edmonds.
Well, Brendan Edmonds has had a wonderful season. You think about how well he played for the Highlanders. Had a great, great year. And then he comes back to ITM Cup. And on the back of that, you expect some sort of domination. And he's doing that. And here's a guy whose game is going from strength to strength. And in the first scrum, it was evident there was pressure on Firth. And we see here, he rolls himself under.
Well, it's just the bind, isn't it? You can't bind on the arm of a player. Pretty fundamental.
Check!
Dixon throws, gobbled up by Allardyce, and Wilson has good ball to work with, and Guildford comes looking for a job. Straight over the ball was Alvaa, penalised. Aki Asor says no. And this could be a first chance of the game for Ehire West.
Interesting there, Onosai Ava'a. He just asked whether or not he said it because he wanted to know that he was getting told to release it, hands off. And so that's sometimes one of the challenges. Ask the referee as they come in here. Watch Ava'a. He gets on quickly. The referee calls hands, and he was entitled then, in the referee's eyes, to let that go. And so that you have to adapt very, very quickly to the referee in this competition. And tonight, both sides will just have to be careful.
Thought he was pretty good myself. Maybe he feels a bit stiff here, KT, on a site.
Oh, I actually thought that too. Sumo was there quickly. He was competing. He had a partner in crime too, so hard done by. But as Jeff said, you have to just adjust to the referee in here. Very stop-start at the beginning of this game, but this will be a settler for Ehire.
I've seen Hawke's Bay all season, even through the pre-season Ranfurly Shield games. They were tentative to start matches. And even last week against Otago, they blew out the scoreline late in the game, but even at the 60-minute mark, it was anyone's. Ehire West with the first attempt. It's good from him. And 3 points on the board for the visitors. 3-0 they lead.
I think that's been the nature of a lot of games already in this ITM Cup. The 40 minutes, first 40 minutes, teams have been a little bit rough, made a number of errors. Second half, the quality of the games has certainly gone up. There's been a lot more tries scored in the second half. And so I think there's still a feeling out there. And remember, pre-season's not competition. It's still only game 3 for a lot of these teams.
Francis goes low, and this one scrappy again. Ben Franks gets a big mid to it and almost knocks it to Karaka. Taken to the bank by Vaipulu, who was well stationed. Here's Francis now. Tony Pulu up from fullback, scored a hat-trick in week 1. Gets his bump on, loses his pants, will set play midway between the 10 and the half. Vaipulu taken down by Lambourne. Also Tom Stanley. Now Kelly Nambour. He gets hit hard by Abbott. Manages to survive the first, and then he got a Dixon for a good measure. Where was Alvara going there? Regardless, they've got the ball. Tupu. And they'll clear downfield, looking for some territory, and we'll come back for the penalty.
Roll away.
Well, the breakdown's such an important part of the game, and both teams just need to make that adjustment. We talked about it, about whether you're the tackler, whether you're the guy competing for possession. There's been an emphasis on this through the competition. Even before it started, they talked about they want a free-flowing game, and it's just about those changes that players have to make and how quick you have to read the situation. And it's a good clearance.
Doesn't keep it in, although Israel Tag did his level best to do so. So a great net gain for Counties Manukau. Here's the play again. It was Kelly Nambour who took it in, got hit hard the first time, and then Dixon came in to finish off. Good line out this year for Counties Manukau. It's been one of their strengths, but they're up against a pretty decent competition here, and that is why. Allardyce with good timing, and Jimmy Tupou tries to rip his head off. They have a little chat about that. And the ball's there somewhere. Now it's with Wilson. Short side play for Shannon Chase. Gets a good step on Chase, and the Otane kid can't help but go into touch. A good run from him, but Counties Manukau want to give the ball some flight. Tony Pulu up from the back. Vaka. A good setup for Fafita, who again makes metres after contact. Back for Vaipulu. Number holding up. Runs over the top of Ehire West. Good run from Leah. Mike Leah with the kick ahead. Chases there. Can't quite get it. Just a display of a little bit of the flair we've come used to.
22.
Power on the outside from Counties. That one-off tackling so important. And there's two things. You go high in this Counties team, you can get bumped off. You go low, the offload becomes dangerous. So you've got to balance it up. Two-man tackling can put the Counties team out of their attacking rhythm.
Tell you what, Michael Leah's got some skills. We saw him in week 1, KT, putting little kicks down the sideline.
Oh, it's the age of the new hooker, isn't it? I mean, on the sideline, bumping off tackles, keeping his balance and put a little chip through to himself. Stop it.
Tony Pulu shifting on. And again, it's a good carry from Sione Fafita. Love to see him get some space as Alva'a goes clattering into Franks. And Mama Vaipulu kindly picks him up off the ground by his head. Hello. Great ball from him. Here's Leah again, and again with the kick. Up to Michael.
Well done.
Let's have a look again. Referees are going to have a consultation here. Chase came across, got one right in the mush. And then a shoulder charge from Israel Dag, and we'll hear more about that.
Yes. PK.
Are you asking me for a recommendation?
Yeah.
Just a penalty.
Okay. Captain.
Israel Dag's lucky here.
Without the number 15, right? Just penalty. Without no arm.
Well, Israel's got that look on his face and says, what are you talking about? But I know he was turning.
Makes no difference. You can't drop your shoulder. You know, it doesn't make any difference whatsoever. You've got to use your arms, and then it was a form of instruction. Interesting decision this from Counties. You talked about Tana Umaunga's intent going into this game. There's a show of it right there. We watch it here. He's committed, and then he checks him, body checks him out with his shoulder. Now in the end, you're not allowed to do that. There's no arms, there's not even a tackle because the ball's not even there. He's fortunate to be on the pitch.
No call.
Don't want to use up too many of his lives tonight. Another line-out mess for Counties Manukau. And back into the hands of Frank Hullay. He sets himself upfield. Straight into Allardyce and Franks. Alva'a. Midfield set up for Judd. And he's got big numbers out to the left-hand side. Here's Fa'aulu. And Johnny got an offload out the back. But this one's gone loose, and O'Connor happy to pounce. Now Hawke's Bay with a short side of their own. Israel Dag. Thumping, great grubber all the way through. And Tony Pulu manages to bat it down. Backwards is the call. Sam Vaka now runs into trouble. And he'll set play. We're in for this all night, I think. There again for Judd. Shoveling on, Vaipulu. Had to turn on the tackle of Lambourne. Got his offload away, and Judd looked up, and Lambourne goes in for seconds. Super. Foul Pulis Francis, and this one's out on the full. Big mistake.
Well, I think the intent's there from both sides at the moment, Sumo, but some of the execution, probably not. Saying you'd expect more from some of the calibre of players on the pitch at the moment. One team just needs to settle down. I think that a bit guilty of going side to side rather than going forward first.
3-0 to score. The solitary penalty to Ehire West. And Ash Dixon with the throw. Big looper down to Brendan O'Connor. Well, the things you look at O'Connor and Vaipulu together. O'Connor is the line-out option as the penalty goes against Hawke's Bay for holding on. Brendan O'Connor is a line-out option, genuine for Hawke's Bay, something that Mama doesn't bring to the game.
No, contrasting types of players, a bit more versatility out of O'Connor and what he can do. I'll tell you what Counties need to work out in a hurry is how to win their line-out ball, because we've had one that's been stolen cleanly and one that's gone over the top. So all that talent in the back line, but this forward pack of Hawke's Bay is prepared and prepared well, and they can compete. And we watch here, there's on the side of a bang onto his feet, beautiful technique onto the ball. They're going to try and drag him forward. Counties nice, see whether or not they can win their own line out.
Well, barring that penalty that Ehire West took advantage of, Alva'a's putting together quite a class and turnover ball tonight, and something that Sam Henwood, man who isn't playing tonight, mentioned in his interview before the game, he said that's what Tana Umaga wants out of me, a turnover specialist. And Alvaa tonight, early in the game, doing his best to show exactly what he's talking about.
They're so valuable for teams which can counter-attack, and counties have been a side that have built a lot of their game around counter-attack. If they can turn over the ball, they can shift it to space, and then you open up for guys like Pulu and Holai and Fafita. You do that on turnovers, and it happened very, very quickly. And here's by himself, stripped, lost forward. We know that in the game now. It's called a knock-on. This is an attacking opportunity for Hawke's Bay. Midfield scrum, 4 out on the right, 2 on the left. They've got an automatic 4-on-3 off the right. We'll see whether or not they can get the timing and the delivery from the back of the scrum.
Well, Jeff, last week against Otago, Israel Dag on this left-hand side was absolutely lethal on his outside break. I'd give him a go.
Ihai West and Ellery Wilson having a quick corridor, deciding on a plan of attack.
We've just opened that opportunity up. Have counties with Francis going to the far side. So now what counties are relying on here is Richard Judd, the halfback, to get out to Israel Dag. If the pass is flat and wide, Frank Hallite, the county's defence, is under a whole lot of trouble.
Judd drops back. Wilson. It's coming the way of Dag. He gets it now. He steps off that left foot. Still made some metres though with defence back, and Ihai West sets one up for Brendan Edmonds. Take it up to the 10-metre line. Counties Manukau now will be stretched on the right-hand side. Ihai West with the kick for Guildford. And that one is marked. Fafita looks up the side. He'll have a crack. Sione Fafita got his pass away to Tony Pulu. Gets through Ihai West, and Alvaa just slipped trying to grab the ball. Will come back for a scrum, but an illustration of the potency of Sione Fafita.
We're so used to the likes of a Timnana Williams here for counties, and this type of instinct going, well, there's no angle for me to kick from. I might as well carry. Beautiful dummy and step and offload. And Pulu does well here, makes a good decision. It's just the accuracy of that pass. I can't hold it. But we're used to seeing 60, 70 metres tries here at Eco Light Stadium in Pukekohe. And there's that intent tonight, just not quite the accuracy just yet.
Hawke's Bay KT came into this game with the most running metres of any team in the competition. Counties Manukau well down that list. They're doing their best to make up for it tonight.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be entertaining once they start catching those balls, Sumo.
O'Connor on an 8-9 play to Wilson, and again they're persisting with the grubber down that channel. And Pulu with a big fake this time, gets away from the first, can't get away from the loosies. And Wilson doing his best to get the ball. He's done well, Ellery Wilson. Stanley out to Horrell. Looked wide and saw it covered, so took on the line, sets play midfield. Buckman. What was that? Still strong in the tackle as Buckman. The Barracuda will set play for Wilson again. Hawke's Bay. 10 out from the 22. No tries in the game, 16 gone. Now Guildford playing on the right wing side tonight. Still not a try for Zach Guildford, though. Plenty of metres with ball in hand. And this will be another turnover play on Alvaa, the beneficiary, but the work was done earlier. Richard Judd clears downfield, no one home. Dag coming across. And Dag collects and goes straight into touch.
Talked about the turnovers, KT. You make mistakes against counties, they can hurt you. And Hawke's Bay had them under a little bit of pressure, but then at the breakdown, just not accurate enough.
Yeah, Tony Pulu very relieved, I'm sure, to get out of that one. Got caught in no man's land, decided to run it, and they got the turnover. But Sean Bagshaw was the one for counties. They got that turnover.
2 turns, complexity at line-out time, brings it down. Alvaa again. Straight to Judd. Crash ball this time. Fafita finds Vaipulu. Inside the 22 they come, the Steelers. And an advantage applying as well. Now Fa'auli. He's taken down on the 22 by Horrell. Judd gets hammered by Allardyce. Will come back for the penalty. Now what do? They eschewed the chance at points earlier. Big decision to be made.
I know what I'd do. I'd take the points. you've been down here enough, this part of the field, you go to yourself, let's get 3 on the board. Yes, we've taken our chances, particularly because it is straight in front. Now the penalty was close to the sideline. You could have punched into the corner here. But it's at this breakdown here. If you watch, great offload. Pulu gets over the advantage line, and then you'll find it was Tom Stanley who just loitered on the wrong side long enough to give away the penalty. You talked about it, KT, even just that last, as we watch it there. County's guilty of going sideways, drifting with the pass. And that's Johnny Fa'aoli's responsibility to straighten the play up. And at the moment, I think they're playing into Hawke's Bay's hand, because Hawke's Bay defensively, the experience of Horrell, Buckman, very, very good in that midfield and reading the play nicely.
Yeah, I think he hit it on the head there, G. And I think Shione Fafita, you can see the when he ejects himself, not for the first time tonight. He is so strong and he gets over the advantage line easily.
Pierce Francis at 70% for the season. Makes no mistake with this. 3-all the score. It's an interesting point on Johnny Fa'aoli. His first start tonight in ITM Cup Rugby. He's on loan from Canterbury. Playing in the number 12 jersey. I don't know how much he's played there, but certainly never at this level.
No, he's come from St Kent, so he's played a lot of football there, all the schoolboy football through that program there, Sumo. So he's well adjusted and he's a good talker too, very well-rounded as well. Got a kicking game, but I'm sure Tana just said, get the ball and run straight there, champ.
St Kent's, of course, in the Blues final this weekend. KT up against Whangarei Boys High.
It wasn't that a turn up, they beat Rosmini.
Yes.
Last week. Outside.
Dag. To Ihaya West. He has options on the right hand side. One is Guildford. He finds him. Vaka, though, has him well covered. Lets him down gently on the halfway line. Abbott buries the head. And needs support to get this through. No more was called, so the ball is still there and still live. And the penalty will come. Kelly Namble just stood there for eternity.
So Kelly felt as though there was a maul and he wasn't happy with the decision, so he lay there and he copped the penalty for it. If the referee's telling you get out of the way, guess what? Get out of the way. Otherwise you're going to get penalised.
Seen in slow motion.
It was. No, I'm not going. Well, you'll go, all right. You'll go back 10 as Ihaya West misses touch. No, he doesn't. Not sure whether Sione Fafita could have done a little bit better on that sideline. Here's the carry. Nabu goes down.
Well, eventually got him up there.
And then he goes, right, I'm going to lie here. It's a more ref.
Exactly. He will save the drama for Mama.
Low, boys, low!
Well, it's still interpretable, isn't it, when a play becomes a maul in that tackle situation.
Interpreted by the ref.
Yeah, exactly. In this case, there was no call at all. Now the line-out drive from the Bay. Tony Lambourne has it at the back, and you'd bet them to go all the way here. Hawke's Bay looking for their first try of the evening. Ellery Wilson can see it. It's there still with Lambourne over the line.
No.
And that's held up. Referee Aki Aswell makes a call straight away.
Geez, I don't know, Sumo. I thought he was down and then pushed back. He was down for a long time too.
It's great setup, isn't it? They do it very, very well. And Richard Buckman gets in amongst the action. Doesn't want to hang out there too long, just in case he gets hands on the ball, of course. And then they've got good structure here. They just needed to be a little bit more patient. And it looks as though he's done enough to get driven over. Yeah, whether or not he'd made it or not, but you're back at scrum time. It won't change, and now can they score from here?
They get the scrum feed. Very good position. Plenty of space on the short side. Shannon Chase is very wide out here on the left. Wilson's gone right. They'll back their scrum push. Now O'Connor needs to pick it up, does so. It's messy, but it's still a chance. Guildford showing good strength. Can he get there? Yes, he can. And the referee wants to look at the movement.
Hey, leave it.
It didn't look as though there's anything on KT. How did he manage to get himself in that position to score?
I was thinking the exact same thing. There was numbers there. Just did a little booty shake and he was through.
Have a check.
He'll take that. The booty shake.
Yeah.
Well, I had a number of these through Super Rugby. I think I got every single one of them wrong. The double movement. The double movement. It confuses me all the time. In the old days, it was easy, wasn't it?
Well, that's right.
You sort of you hit the ground and then you reached out. You couldn't score, but you see here, we're all holding our breath. What do you reckon?
Well, in the 1990 rules, that's a double movement. That is a dead set rabbit.
Yep.
He's allowed a chance to play the ball, but he's propelled himself forward.
And I've heard that said again this year. Because the tackler from behind's almost pushed him over as well. KT, what do you reckon?
He'll blow up Deluxe if he doesn't get this.
I reckon it's a double movement. I'll put it out there.
Yeah, I'm with you, KT.
Well, I've been wrong all year. Try.
Are we talking opinion here or the odds?
I'll go odds. I've been so wrong all year on this one.
We'll say this. Referee Shorts do not look comfortable.
He's ruled a double movement. Don't try. Okay. Yeah.
And I'm wrong again.
I can't believe you went there.
Well,
you needed to trust your instincts.
Double
on that.
movement. Back the penalty. Crossing here.
That's what I meant.
The scrum's collapsed. Look at Guildford.
Right. Crossing here.
He can't believe it. But the scrum was collapsed, so Hawke's Bay will get the penalty.
It wasn't pretty. The scrum goes down. The advantage is played. And then watch here. How does he beat? Steps on. Fafita just got flat-footed. It was nice work from Guildford, and then he just took one too many little movements.
Okay.
And he'll take the shot at goal. After all that, the Iowa West will have a shot. So counties have had the territory. Hawke's Bay have had a little bit more possession. But other than that, it's pretty even.
And that's the big problem for Tano Umaga. You know, he's just saying, he said before this game, teams have figured out what we do out of our own half. And then on the Canterbury match, we don't want to spend that much time defending. Unfortunately, you can have all the territory in the world, and that's great. But if you're spending your time tackling within the other team's half, that's tiring. Here's the kick from West, and it's another goodie. He hires at 100 to start the game. 23 gone. They've been rowdy, that crew. They were here early, and they'll be here late.
And they were into me.
I was just about to say they were giving G something.
Oh, they were into me. What have I done?
He didn't say hello. You have changed, was the charm.
Oh, mate, I said hello beforehand. I said hello. I come away and see how are you.
I might have got something about pies and who ate them all.
At least they said something about YouTube blokes. I got nothing.
We only just turned up.
Abbott takes the ball down. He's been stripped. And unplayable is the call. That's a great one-on-one play. And it's Sione Fafita who chased hard on the kick.
I'll tell you what I have been impressed with through this ITM Cup is there's so many contestable kicks off the kickoff, KT, rather than just kicking it long and hoping they'll kick it out. Putting in the positions where you get up and you contest for possession. Give yourself a chance to get it back.
And I think that's the thing. Coaches realise how important this asset is, and that's the ball I'm talking about. Look at that contest. The winger shouldn't be doing that. I'd never done that.
No, I never did that. That was an accident if I ended up near there. Still is.
Scrum twist, but it's there for Judd, and he feeds it up, and Fafita again. He has been a feature of this county's Manukau attack tonight. 25 in. They trail by 3, the Steelers. Judd popped it up for Bagshaw. Big Sean takes a hit up, followed by Omasai Alva'a. One off the ruck stuff here, Jared Firth next to go. They pick and drive the other way, just trying to suck this Hawke's Bay pack in. And at the moment, they're still able to spread. Alva'a into Franks, and he comes to a stop. Jared Firth. It's the same crew, it's the same play. It's Omasai Alva'a again. Once more they go. Bagshaw. Now Judd's there, looking for the back line. Vaka, and the space shut on Frank Hullai. Now the charge down, and we'll come back for the scrum.
Why'd they go away from their forwards? That's what I'd say. KT, they were doing such great work. This is when I think counties are at their best, is when they actually are in the tight. They've got such strong ball carriers around the fringes. They've made a number of handling errors, as we can see there in this first half. But they were making the yards. It was almost like, oh, maybe it's time to give it to the backs. But they just needed to keep working away, because once they got over the advantage line here, which is what Fafita did beautifully, they just systematically worked their way closer and closer to the goal line. And when the release came, it was just 2 or 3 phases too early.
You and I both know that's the backline boredom rule setting in there.
Yeah.
That is the backline boredom rule.
When I played with Brownie, KT, you did it as well. We just said, no, keep going. Tony Brown just said, keep going, until it was time for him to have a crack. Wasn't it? 1-2 dummy cut and away he went. And that's the thing. If you're making yards and the opportunity isn't out there, don't call for it. Just keep going and wait till you've dragged that defence well and truly in. And I reckon 2 more carries,
Coach,
defence would have been on the goal line, and it's a different story.
I wonder too if Hullai was supposed to be the recipient of that pass.
Yeah, it was
running a great dummy line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Steam is rising here in Steelland. And base scrum again. Very stable platform. O'Connor straight to Horrell. Sets under the horns, and Wilson now with a deep pass for Ihia West. And part bomb, part spiral, but into touch.
It's a great clean out there from Brendan O'Connor, which enabled that to happen. He made the pass, the clean out, clean ball. Ihia West got time, relieves the pressure. It's a good exit play from Hawke's Bay.
Big throw for Leah, and it's tapped down. Still messy though. Alva'a cleared away to Judd and finds Fa'auli. No way through for Frank Hullai, but the ball is there again for Judd. Francis and Fa'auli now with the kick. Guildford doing the clean-up job. And Buckman in behind him. They'll set again, Hawke's Bay. More attacking ball. Ben Franks with a dummy. And he sets for Wilson. As his options are cut short, so he kicks off the left, and Hullai now as the crowd finds its voice for Big Frank. Can't get away from the tackle of Tony Lambourne. Not many have this season. Hawke's Bay fancying themselves another turnover here, and they have it. Shannon Chase looked up and realised he was standing over the ball. He gets taken out of play by Frank Hullai. Vaipulu to Firth. Firth to Fa'auli, and he just got rid of it. Buckman. Trademark from Buckman, beautifully presented for Wilson. Away to Ihia West. Horrell with the kick through for Dag, and Dag gets enough on it. Judd caught perilously close to his own try line. I'm pretty sure Mark Abbott has forced that ball. And the referee says no, it'll be a 22.
No, a 5-minute scrum. I think they're saying that it was taken backwards, and Counties had a hand on it in goal, so they forced it inadvertently.
There was a pressure pass though, wasn't it, G, from Johnny Fa'auli?
Richard Buckman, he reads the game so well. They had great numbers on. Here we see the last play. They had numbers on the outside, the Counties, and here it is. And then it's nice work, but he's recognised I can't put it back over the line, and eventually this goes back, and he had to. He's worked out he's in a whole lot of pressure.
A 5-minute scrum, Hawke's Bay ball carried back. I thought for a second there Mark Abbott had reached over and just forced the ball, which he would have been entitled to do.
Would have been a try.
Hillary Wilson. It's an interesting place for the ball to come out. Now West just held up the ball, took on the line. Wilson now thought he had half a chance of his own, and Tony Lambourne gets rolled just under the sticks. O'Connor up to Abbott, and eventually he does get there. Mark Abbott with the try for the Magpies.
And he's off. He's off and gone. He is off and gone. All the work was done inside him. There was a nice little dummy run in front of him, which held a defender. And now he stops to get a little bit of a high five.
He's had to wait a long time to score his first pie in ITM Cup. He's pretty happy about it too.
His first try. Hard to believe. Such a hard-working lock. This is where Ehire West is so dangerous. And in the clear, look at the opportunity to go through the middle there, but no. It's all about turning, coming around the corner. Great carry from Lambourne. And then you watch the line here that's run by Israel Dagg, which just attracts enough attention of Frank Halley so that he can't get out and make the stop. Nice work from Hawke's Bay. And remember, this is on the back of another turnover from Counties, which gave them that field position.
Well, that would have been plenty to Mark Abbott, because Michael Allardyce, his locking partner, scored in both the first two games. So he would have been getting a tune-up over the last fortnight.
Would have been accused of shirking his work, Abbott.
Here's West, and no mistake from Ehire. 2 more in the bank for him, and the scoreline now 13 points to 3, 32 minutes gone. It's been an entertaining first half of footy.
Both teams have tried to play. Both teams have been guilty of turning it over, which means counter-attack's been an option, and there's been some good kicking. And one team, when they've got down there, because they've only had 36% territory, has got some points. The other one just hasn't been accurate enough to get the job done, Counties, just yet.
Francis again. It's a wonderful restart from him. Just holds up, giving Sione Fafita plenty of opportunity. Now West pops it up for Lambourne. Had some running repairs earlier in the game, but no problems for him. And West, this one taken into the 22, so no touch option for Ehire West. And Big Mama comes forward and takes a ripper. Bagshaw. Lambourne makes another tackle, and they suck the penalty out of Sean Bagshaw as well. It was the travelling player coming forward, Jimmy Tupou, who's been penalised.
Well, Sumo, Tony Lambourne, the blindside for Hawke's Bay just in the last couple of moments, has really injected his physicality into this game. You saw him with a nice hit up for that exit play, and then he was the one contesting along with Ash Dixon to get this turnover. Now they go quickly.
Never a dull moment with Ehire West on a rugby field as it goes to Israel Dagg. Gets away from one, taken down inside the 22. West is there again. Easy meters for Hawke's Bay. And here goes Brendan O'Connor. Skips through one. 6 meters out. The Magpies getting into their work here. Wilson is held back, and surely more to come as they play advantage. Wilson finds Guildford now. Ranged himself in the midfield. They stay right. Buckman gets on the outside. What a play, Richard Buckman. Andrew Horrell gets the goodies.
So many things to talk about in this play. So many good lines. Such good spacing. Brendan O'Connor made a fantastic break, which got them well over the advantage line. But it's then their shape. You watch this. Israel Dagg injected on the outside. And then here, dummy and gone. Great fend. Firth couldn't hold on to him. O'Connor then goes to the outside. And then it's the decision making from here. You've got options left and right. They decide to go back to the left. Then watch this. This is 2-on-2. In and out. Fafita, no choice. He had to stay out there. Pulu hit the man. He had to stay wide, but he was attracted by the footwork.
Oh, Richard Buckman, look there, shapes the kick, goes on the outside. There's no defence for class. Richard Buckman, how good.
If the Barracuda is not your favourite rugby player, I don't know what game you're watching.
I've got a lot of favourites, to be fair, but he
me
is
too.
one,
But he's not a rugby player. He's just an out-and-out mystery.
There's no mystery about how good he is at playing the game.
Oh.
And we've seen on a number of occasions where it's his option taking, both on attack and defence. Isn't it nice to think that we've got someone like him sitting on the wings, doesn't get talked about, as Ehire West slots one down the middle.
That's great stuff from Ehire West. 100% night so far for the wee man.
Well, you think about the job he did for the Highlanders, Richard, but played on the wing last year, comes back. They required him to play second five, and his machine missed a lot of the season. Watch this. 2 feet, ball in 2 hands, times it beautifully. So easy. Horrell's the benefactor.
Climbing high as Allardyce. And the Steelers will be feeling slightly aggrieved at the way they have started in this game. They've been towelled up. 2 tries to Hawke's Bay as they have settled into their work. It's not through lack of effort for Counties Manukau. Just some very classy touches from a very good side. Andrew Horrell now sets again for Wilson. And Abbott scored the first tonight. He's held up in the tackle of Nambor, but he got the ball free, and again it's O'Connor. Finally taken down by Alvar, and he's warned to stay out of the way. Lambourne is there. West. A good take from Piers Francis as he runs into the tackle of Guildford. Learfitcher. Have they got an answer, the Steelers? Lear. Sits well for Judd. He gets there now. Here's Vaipulu. Away from 2. Away from 3. Mama Vaipulu puts a kick ahead. Guildford is there to clean up. Just ran out of options, and again, Counties Manukau just not showing any patience on attack.
It's the 3rd time tonight there's been space, or they've got an opportunity. It's a great carry. Ben Franks will be disappointed with that tackle attempt. And yes, you might not have support, but take the break. Take the break down. You've got Guildford going back. Take the break down. You've got well over the advantage line. You've kicked it away on 2 or 3 occasions. They may have been better to hold on to it.
They win the line out. Piers Francis now finds Vaka in midfield. Steps out of one. Gives one in the throat to West. Vaka! Great carry from Sam. And they're 10 out from the line. Piers Francis thought he saw some space. That's shut quickly.
Use it.
Pulu playing halfback. Finds Nambor. Nambor. There's been some fens in this game so far. Tom Stanley, the latest, still feeling the effects of a big Fijian forearm. On a sail, VAR now taken down by the Barracuda. Pick and drive, Bagshaw. Trying to suck in that fringe defence again. Now Firth picks up, takes the long way round. And Hawke's Bay get a turnover. What a play from Brendan Edmonds.
Just their option taking for Counties leading them down there. There was space on the near side. You would have been up against Ellery Wilson as the kick goes into touch.
Referee also blows for half time as we have a look at the Sam Vaka break. Just seen enough signs from them though, haven't we, Jeff, in that first half of what they can do. Patience will be the word from Tana Umaga surely as we head down to the field. And Carlton Anna is standing by with Andrew Horrell.
Or Andrew, you sort of got up on them that last 10 minutes of their half?
Yeah, no, we've got our breakdown sorted, and it allows us to play, so yeah.
Very stop-start to the beginning of that game, though.
Yeah, it was, yeah. It's bringing our flow going, so hope the second half we play a bit better.
Good luck, eh?
Cheers, mate.
Andrew Horrell, short and sharp from him. 20 points to 3. The Magpies lead the Steelers here on Friday Night Footy. Stay with us, back after the break. Welcome back to Eagle Eye Stadium in Pukekohe. Friday night football, round 3 of the ITM Cup. It is the Magpies leading the Steelers 20 points to 3. Let's hear from inside the Steelers camp. Assistant coach Grant Henson with KT.
Well, coach, a lot of intent to go wide, but probably not the execution.
Yeah, we
we saw the space out there, but once we got out there, as you said, we're just making the errors, and that's what's letting them in the game, really, and costing ourselves.
A couple of times you got in position, but just a bit more patience needed.
Yeah. Boys just trying to do things on their own. You know, we had a couple of forwards kicking the ball there. We don't train that, but yeah, just guys stick to our systems, and you know, we'll build phases, and I think we'll crack them.
And also your line-up's been pretty good all year long, but tonight needs to clean up in the second half.
Yeah, Hawke's Bay they've read it pretty well there, so a little bit of pressure from them, but yeah, hopefully the boys had a good talk there, so we'll see where the space is and fix it.
All right, good luck, eh?
Cheers, mate.
Grant Henson, he wouldn't have kicked the ball when he was playing. I'll tell you that. I will tell you that.
I was thinking that very thing. I bet you he has. He's just forgotten.
No, he's just sitting there disgusted.
I'll tell you who'd be happy to hear that. It's Gordy Hunter. Gordy Hunter used to say that. I don't know what you're doing there. No. Small numbers. Don't kick the ball.
Ehire West then gets us underway in the second half. Great work from the tee from Ehire in the first half, and then a great heads-up play as well to set up Hawke's Bay for their second try. And here they are back in possession at Stag. And that is a big old rainbow straight out to Ehire West. He had to come back and clean it up, and then he makes it worse. Buckman then. It's good contact. Gets it as far as Piers Francis, who was just stationed outside the 22. And he looks for Frank Hulley. Frank Hulley decides to kick. Game starting as tentatively in the second half as it did in the first. Now Israel Dag. And makes a good touch finder.
I was just thinking to myself, Israel Daggs had a good first 40 minutes, has been mistake-free, and then he has 2 hours. Hospital, and then one along the ground. It's not what we're looking for. You can see the intent, what he was trying to do, but it was well read by Counties.
He did well to get back in support, though, KT.
Well, you do that when you throw a hospital.
Ehire West keeping his head and looking for that wrap around too to release that ball, but this is where they need to shape up here, Counties. Get their line-out ball first and foremost.
Well, it gets there eventually, although Mama Vaipulu probably wasn't expecting it. Here's Francis. Straight away they get Frank Hulley into the game and tries to run over the top of Stanley, who held on for dear life. Nambu. He'll get caught on the 10 by Brendan O'Connor. Just a lazy kick of the ball from O'Connor on the way through. That's a veteran play. Fa'uli through a Gary Freeman, straight to Vaipulu. Judd just gets eaten alive by Brendan Edmonds. They'll come back for the penalty, though. Shot call by Counties Manukau. Gone is the cavalier attitude of the first half. They want points when they're on offer.
Chippo having a word. So the ref around penalties from Hawke's Bay when they start to get a little bit of a roll on. He may have been, what, half a minute offside, maybe? But this is the start that Counties need. Just need to stem the flow.
Francis, back around. Good contact from Piers Francis. This one sails over. 3 more in the bank for Counties Manukau. They double their score. 20 now, plays 6.
Well, that opportunity came on the back of some great defence of Johnny Fa'awili to start it off on. Ehire West, and from there, Hawke's Bay always on the back foot, but that, as you said, G, a great confidence booster. It does stem the flow somewhat and change momentum.
Well, last week too, they outscored Canterbury 2 tries to 1. Not shy of finding the line. Well, Hawke's Bay have scored 12 tries this year, so they still have to think about defending their own line, but getting to Hawke's Bay's must be priority now. He picks up and finds Alvar. Ken Franks is well stationed. Back for Francis. Again taken back into the 22. Dang. Finds Guildford. Guildford steps his way up. Straight into Radafsia. And Johnny Faulu must release him now. Advantage applying. Just a matter of timing for Johnny Fauli.
No. Where it is. Shot.
So frustrating as a coach when you kick a penalty just after half time and then you give away a penalty. We see as Guildford goes into the tackle and really goes in, and he's on him there, so he's on. So once he hits the ground, he has to release him. So now High West gets that opportunity to bring that gap back out to 17 points.
Geez, that's basic football, isn't it, though, G?
It's tough, though, in the heat of the moment, isn't it? You know, you've got your hands on the ball. It's right there. You just think to yourself, if I can only rip it away, I'll get away with this.
You don't get away with a lot nowadays, do you?
He's in his first season of ITM Cup. West from long range, and this one has plenty on it as well. West is on fire. 5 from 5 for Ehire West tonight. 23 plays 6. The big frustration too now for Counties Manukau is they've just got themselves back on the board and it's been wiped out. Allardyce. Go-to man for Hawke's Bay, and restart time. Now it's in the back with Tony Lambourne, who put on a show in the final 10 minutes of the first half. Sean Bagshaw has come through. He'll be penalised, offside play.
Number 1.
Good metres from West as he takes play up to the 10-metre line.
What we do know about Counties is that they can break it open at any stage. And so we shouldn't forget that. And what you do have with this Hawke's Bay team is they've scored a lot of tries, but they're very clinical as well and got great experience. And they'll be thinking about now with this lead, you play this game in the right part of the field, but they can't relax at any stage.
Allardyce again, strong at line-out time. West finds Horrell, and players coming from everywhere to make the tackle on Stanley. It was Fa'auli who did so. And the turnover play. Big defence from Johnny. Now they're back. Shaw gets picked up by Guildford. And Zach's heading for the corner. Will not be stopped. Gets a try.
Grant. Have a check first. Touch or no touch?
Just want to be sure here.
I saw
and off the back of a great Counties turnover, an opportunist play from Zach Guildford. We'll get to that in a moment. I'm sure.
Do you know the worst thing about this play? If that ball had gone to ground, he probably would have been penalised for knocking it down intentionally. There is the try.
Oh, hold on. Nah, it's a try. That's where the pink boots help you. Those bottom of the boots, the pink boots, they help. You watch this. Yes, he's sliding, but they're in the air. They haven't touched anything. Ball's on the ground. It's a try. Yeah, you're right. Oh, and saying that's different, though, because he tapped it up. It's popped up. So it's a different story. This is where I look at it. Decision will be coming soon.
There it is, confirmation on the Zach Guildford try. He'll be happy with that as first of the season. Denied earlier in the game. As we see the play, and it was Bagshaw and he knew it. He saw a big man in open space and said he is going to make a mistake.
Well, the option was right in terms of where the pass was on. It's just you need to recognise where the pressure is. Now, if he runs in that hole, he'll go over, offloaded anyway. But fortuitous per se. Zach Guilford thought it was worth the gamble. The gamble pays off. They get 5 points. I know what you're saying, though, Sumo.
Well, also, there's the class of Guilford too, isn't it, KT? Right at the end of that shot, he drags his knees up, knowing exactly where the try line and where the outline is.
Because Pulu can shift. He can go.
West
kick.
The smart thing for me, though, he knew he was outnumbered, and on that last shot you could see he actually angled in, so he saw the prop, he thought he was going to make a hit, and then he props off and takes the intercept. I reckon that's outstanding. We spoke about the experience of Zach Guilford. That was on the show, and there's just the back end of it, the speed. That's brilliant stuff.
West gets another one. 6 from 6 for Ehire West. Came into this game, remember, at 50%. He's kicked them from everywhere. Dags there, gives the ball to Chase. Chase says, I don't want it, gives it to West. West hands it off to the skipper, Brendan O'Connor. Wilson now. Left again, Dag up into the line, Horrell, Buckman, he holds it up. Vaka gets hold of him. Counties Manukau will have to be careful here. Hawke's Bay have been known to run away with it. In second half play this season, they come forward. It's not backwards, but it's into the hands of Sir Kelly Namble. And Counties Manukau now will have some possession to work with. Judd on the halfway. Francis. Didn't have possession for long. Now back with Guilford. And he kicks downfield. Francis again. Returns fire. West, casual as you like, brings Guilford back in. Confidence level high now on the Magpies side as West goes for a good old-fashioned bomb. And that one is knocked down by Hyatt, straight into the hands of Allardyce. When you're up, you're up. West now to Franks, and Franks just holds on, gets rid of one, swiping away Rarasia. There for Wilson. Wilson, no one in front of him. Floats one over the top. Guilford looking for a double. Guilford's over the line. They'll check the obstruction.
Grant, have a check. Yeah.
Just have a check. Just have a check. Just check everything.
Look at everything.
Yeah, there he goes. He's got it. Obstruction. And I think it was incidental from Ash Dixon, but it may have affected the tackle, KT.
Yeah, I think it might have, G. I think just...
Dixon was running a great line too, and he just... In fairness, he pulled out of the play. Whether or not he had...
Oh, he obstructed Pulu. I mean, the line to Guilford, but
was Guilford still in front of him?
Yes.
That's my question. Piers Francis was doing a great job selling that dramatically from the ground.
What's number?
Obstruction.
Yeah. What's number, Brad? What's number, Brad? 2. Okay. No try. Obstruction.
My issue is Dixon is never in an offside position.
Yeah, whether or not he was in front of, and you see it all the time where you obstruct intentionally, but this is on the back of 2 up and unders again. 2 simple bombs which weren't diffused by Counties, and then it was some great options, some great attack. Lovely dummy and go from Wilson, and then distribute. Yeah, it's a hard one, isn't it?
There's been a whole host of changes here for Counties Manukau. On jersey 16 is Kapatasi Sua. On 18, Slam Iono. 19, Dan Hyatt. I think Kane Hansey's just come on too in jersey 21. He was just about to.
Well, he brings some experience, Kane Hansey. He probably would have preferred to come on with his team closer in the match. So 2 of the 3 front rowers changed, and Hyatt in for his first start of 2015. He was very good for the Steelers last year, Dan Hyatt. Transplanted Manukau, of course, playing for the Waiuku club.
Okay.
Couple in front for the Steelers here, but they stopped. So Guildford looked up. He heard the footsteps of Fafita, and he wasn't tiptoeing. Vaka again with the kick through, and again Tag on a clean-up job. Back in field for Buckman. And Frank Halai must roll away. Buckman sets. Wilson gets swallowed up by his opposite Judd.
Push.
Counties now trying to press on defence. Will come back. The ball's in touch.
It's a good outcome, but I still question the choice to kick it away again.
Time off. Stop.
I'm with you, G. They should keep the ball in hand, Sam Bucker. That's going to be his last action of the game. He's just been replaced in jersey 23 by Carter Whainga.
Carter Whainga, well, we know how good he is on a straight run. Him and Fa'auli, a new combination, young combination. Piers Francis straight away having a meeting of the minds. There's the drop from Guildford. And look at the numbers here for Counties Manukau. Mama Vaipulu has the ball. As Counties Manukau begin the drive, they were good at this last season. One of the most underrated facets of their game, in fact. And they've joined in front of the ball carrier, and this will be a penalty. That will be a penalty, but it's a scrum, says referee Agiaso. The players came in and joined in front of the ball carrier. You cannot do that.
And I like they're calling this now. I think for a long time they didn't call it. And they allowed one guy to hold on to the ball and everyone else started joining in front. That's not the way the maul was designed to play. Even there, him shifting back. And then you watch the players who then come in, who go out, who are driven out the back. And they're watching here and then watch where they join
here.
Oh, we'll get in front of him. Yeah, we'll obstruct him. We'll drive. And I'm glad they picked up on it because that is obstruction.
Fine. Wake up. No. Don't need to play engage. Hey. Don't touch. Okay, yeah.
With some chat going on at scrum time. Sam Iono entertaining the Hawke's Bay pack with some good old-fashioned barroom banter.
I'm pretty sure you don't want to poke the bear with Ash Dixon and Ben Franks and Brendan Edmonds.
I'm pretty sure Ben Franks has heard it all before.
And I'm pretty sure Ben Franks has got nothing to say in return.
Set.
I'll tell you this, Sam Iono did not move with Franks in front of him, and Horrell takes it ahead. Wilson now decides to kick for touch, and he'll find a good touch as well. What a clearance from Ellery Wilson.
That's a good kick under pressure. Press me. Here's Ellery Wilson. They said this whole Hawke's Bay team have been very efficient, continue to work very, very hard. And the effect of their All Blacks 1-15. Dag and Franks certainly assisted where they've been already for the first couple of weekends of this tournament.
Swell with a good throw, finds Radasia, and Hansey pops it up to Halai. Halai taken down. Stanley came in over the top, wins the penalty. How about the play of Tom Stanley? Put a stop on, immediately released the player and went straight back in for the ball.
Sorry, boy. Behind, please. Behind, please.
West kick is not out, kept in field. And in fact, no, the flag is up. So Hawke's Bay will get the line out just up past the 10-metre line.
Good hit. Down, nice and clear in the space. Clean out comes from the side. Nicely picked up.
Just a couple of things that Johnny Fa'auli has done tonight, which just are a result purely of the fact he's in his rookie season. no criticism of the player. He's going to have a long career ahead of him, but those are the moments and the nuances at this level of the game that you've got to adjust to. Very quickly, like that! That is a make-up hit from Johnny Fa'auli. I take it all back.
He heard you, Sumo. He heard you and he decided, I'm going to put something on here. He has made the odd error tonight, but at the timing, he read this beautifully, accelerated through the gap.
Oh.
How tough is Andrew Howells? His ribs are exposed to get that in you.
Do you know what? How big are his eyes? Right there.
Coach!
Johnny Fa'auli. This field is a wrecker's yard.
Yeah.
I am telling you now.
We need a gap, right?
Oh, mate, I feel like going to the physio after that. Oh, my gosh. What a hit.
Not as much as Andrew Orrell does. Andrew Orrell's been hit so hard, one of his socks has fallen down.
Coach! Ball! Set!
Hansi gets the ball now. Now Francis. Now they're running onto it. Fa'auli now showing some good form on attack as well. Pump the ball up to Carter Fainga. Hansi. Some real urgency in the Steelers side. 57 gone. They trail by 24. Francis. Plenty of players. Great ball from Carter Fainga. He gets thrown down by Zach Guilford. The flag is up, but the flag is not in.
Okay. Turn off. 3 let off. 3 let.
Yep, Zach Guilford's in trouble here. He's picked someone up. And he's put them down. Can't do it. That'll be the end of him. He'll go off.
That's bad too, isn't it? Gee, that is bad.
Yeah, that's dangerous. Sorry, they're not going to have a look at that.
Turn back on.
Johnny Tungafussi's on for Counties, also in jersey 17. Can't believe that.
Boss, more one step back.
No doubt we'll hear some more of that, but we won't during the game. And I'm afraid that's a failure of the refereeing team. The TMO can't talk directly to the referee. He's on the sideline, has to be called into play during ITM Cup, so he's not the one to adjudicate on foul play here. As Ehire West clears from his 22. And Guilford was chasing hard, making sure the play couldn't continue. Good chase from him.
I really like the work, Sumo, of the halves of the Magpies. Ellery Wilson and Ehire West, I think, have just had a little bit more polish.
Ash Dixon comes forward and steals the ball. Now Wilson. Hawke's Bay with their chance, ball in hand. Horrell, how he's still alive is beyond me. Dagg now to Chase. Shannon Chase. Kicks over the top, was cut down afterward. Here's O'Connor. He has covered some ground today, Brendan O'Connor. And then a knock-on, late mistake in the play.
Class of two players there. Horrell first, shifting it, and then Israel Dagg shifting it as well. This is why I'm such a fan of players who under pressure can read the options. Buckman, and then Dagg. Both have players on them. Chase. Ball in one hand, drops it onto his right foot. Great work from O'Connor. My understanding, O'Connor, he's heading offshore, isn't he, after the end of the season? Massive loss for the Blues.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had one hell of a year for them, and you're seeing the class of him tonight.
Well, how about his versatility as well? He looks likely to play most of the season at number 8. The Blues do with a 7-8 combination.
You just see Tom Stanley, I think.
Gibson, he's not bad.
Coach!
Trent Boswell Wake got on jersey 20 there, lads. The Hawke's Bay.
Well, you can't blame Brendan O'Connor. He's been handed an offer he can't refuse. He's moved to the side of the scrum now with Boswell Wakefield into the game. He will slot in at 8.
Get up. Coach.
Final quarter of the game. And the Steelers are steering down the barrel at the moment. 24-point deficit as Hawke's Bay scrum goes to work on them. 5 out, the ball was out. Now Horrell. Again, he's met by Fa'auli. This time, the result not as dramatic as the last time. Hansey. He has the ball ripped away, but he gets it back. County's running from inside their own 22. Fa'auli's pass. Somehow found a man. Now Tony Pulu. Sione Fafita scooped it up. And that pass from Francis could have gone anywhere. Hyatt will have to do the clean-up job. Picked up by Vai Pulu. Hansey offloads to Ranasia, who's taken down by his opposite, Michael Allardyce. Francis again. Hawke's Bay defence has been good. Fa'auli gets it away to Fafita. Stays in support. Hansey. Top this time, and Tupou drops one off to Piers Francis. No shortage of movement in this County's Manukau backline, but forward progress is hard to come across. Bongafasi taken down by Ben Franks. Flat ball to Hyatt. Again, it's Michael Allardyce defending. Tony Pulu. Cheeky meters from the fullback as he's ripped down. 5 out from the 22. Again, the offload in contact. County's Manukau going to their go-to play. Sekeli Nambo now, but no one in support. Horrell was there. Somehow the ball is back. Sammy Iono. Dixon is there. Hansey into the waiting arms of Brendan O'Connor. Sucks the penalty out of referee. Big period of play for County's Manukau.
Offside.
Jimmy Tupou, he talked to referee Saw earlier on in the game, in and around when they get momentum, and he's doing it again, the penalties that Hawke's Bay give away, and you push the boundaries when you're under the pump, and they're under the pump there.
A couple of changes for Hawke's Bay here. Lads on in jersey 21. It's the experienced Chris Eaton replacing very good night in the halfback Ari Wilson, and also in jersey 23 Ryan Tongia is on for Zach Guilford.
Yeah, Katie, this is where Hawke's Bay have got a distinct advantage, haven't they? When you can bring on guys with this sort of experience. And Tongia with the Highlanders this year didn't get a lot of playing time, but he's a professional footballer, and Eaton's been around a long time.
Time on.
Sekeli Nambo now will set the drive. Ball has gone all the way back as they spin and rotate this Hawke's Bay defence and straight into touch. Some real issues for County's Manukau in terms of executing plays in the red zone tonight.
I think about the experience of this tight 5 though. Abbott, Allardyce, Franks, Evans, Dixon, they're all super rugby players. That's what they are. Great experience. They sit under the radar, excited back to playing with Hawke's Bay, and they do it well.
And they come up with plays like that, 5 out from their own line.
Execution.
10 out now. Chase is big on Dag, and Dag thumps one towards the embankment. And they're out of danger again for the time being. KT, they've been doing this all night.
Brilliant sumo. And here a couple of subs on the jersey 17. Tolu Fahamoi Kioa was on him. And also in jersey 18, Mark Braywood is on for Hawke's Bay.
A couple of sizable men. Franks is perhaps his last ever appearance in a Hawke's Bay jersey tonight, I would think. Given the All Blacks are named on Sunday, and
the more I keep thinking about it, I don't know. Who are they going to take? I was convinced a week ago, but now I don't know. I think he'll be one of them named.
He goes. There's no doubt.
He goes. All right.
He goes. There it is. Live for the Beehive. 6:30 on Sunday. Tell you what, there's been some debate around that team. Imagine if New Zealanders could debate really important issues as much as they debate the All Black side.
It's an important issue, Sumo.
I mean, really important issues. But we carry on. We carry on. Really looking forward to seeing that 31-man team. And, of course, you feel for some very good players who are going to miss that plane. Israel Dag won't miss the plane. He's in their flight safety video. He'll be in there. There's Carter flying out. There's no room to move in the tackle of Buckman.
I think that's symptomatic of County's night. Side to side, when they've had an opportunity in the right part of the field, the defence has been far, far too good. And Counties are making another change, and they made a lot of changes from the game against Canterbury. And the performance tonight doesn't really resemble anything from last weekend. They were better last weekend.
Nathan Di Thierry coming on in jersey 22. It's been an interesting night for Johnny Fa'auli. KT.
Yeah, it's been a mixed bag for the young kid, but I'm sure he gets stronger and better going forward as long as he learns from it.
Well,
good on defence.
Yeah. Well, as you say, I mean, you saw him play college footy. He's been noticed, obviously, by Canterbury, back up here on loan. Yeah, go back, Jeff, to that All Black announcement. Can you imagine the nights and hours spent from that selection team mulling over the options? I mean, what a wonderful thing to have so many options, but sometimes it's even harder.
I'm sure they've left no stone unturned. They might have been listening to some of the stuff that's been thrown around and just laughing.
No doubt. Hansey, good ball from him too. And Di Thierry gets stopped in his tracks by Andrew Horrell. Nambo. He gets a fend on Braidwood. Braidwood's all of 125 kilograms. He's not easy to knock over. Went down like a weeble. Picked up by Ngaftasisua. Still 10 out. They worked their way inside Hawke's Bay's half 6.5 minutes ago. And have come up with nothing to show for it. Horrell, though, comes up with the mistake. Maybe one last chance.
Well, they come up against a very good defensive unit. And when your tight five know their roles, which Hawke's Bay do, that makes the job of your loose fours that little bit easier. And so they're able to contest the breakdown. And so anything around the fringes, Hawke's Bay have been able to take care of. Then you've got a really experienced midfield. I know I'm harping on about this, but all of this experience comes together the fact their transition defence is very good. They recognise how to man up. There's the big fend. But no, it's no doubt it's effective. Dixon's there to clean up, though, and help out. The tackle's made. Breakdown. Maybe a little bit of a hand in there, a little bit of assistance, but the physicality's been there. It's continuous. And they have been just too good tonight. You have to say that.
Yeah, and Higher West has come off and been replaced by Billy Rawpihar in jersey 22.
Who's moved into first five? Andrew Horrell.
Angle. Number 1, 17.
Billy Rawpihar is another one. Looked very good pre-season in the Shield games. Strong ball carrier. Good defensively. Good vision and awareness as well, Billy Rawpihar. Counties Manukau now left with no choice but to throw the dice. They go for the 5-metre line out.
Watch around the front. Here's a back and slow. Here's a back and slow.
Tupou comes down with the ball. Narbor then. They transfer it right to the back. And again, they've got issues with players joining in front. Not picked up this time by the referee. They make the dive for the line. They get there. There's the try. And Mama Vaipulu comes up with 5 for the Steelers.
Well, it has been pretty from time to time tonight for Counties, but they chanced their arm there. They got themselves set again. Maybe a little bit fortunate, but they committed themselves to trying to get to 7. Throw was good. gets himself set. Very similar circumstances, but they felt it was the same more. And then he breaks away. He's run strongly, but he's worked hard. He's one of the guys tonight who has made some inroads, but they haven't taken enough of the opportunities.
$30 points to 11. And Francis pushes this one out to the right. Bearing in mind, too, in the Steelers' defence, they probably should have been playing 14 men about now after the Guildford tackle. It wasn't picked up, which would have been a yellow card at least any day of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. And they may have been able to get there a little bit closer and put some pressure on this Hawke's Bay team. As they make another couple of changes to Hawke's Bay.
Yeah, Tangaire's on a jersey 16, replacing Ash Dix, and also in jersey 19, Saniela Wanga on a jersey 19, plays Mark Abbott.
Saniela goes by the nickname Junior, and I can tell you this, he is a very special athlete. Now Piers Francis has a chance down the right-hand side. Frank Hunley. They've marked him closely tonight. They know how dangerous he can be. Hansi up to Johnny Tuangafasi, taken down by Wanga. Nancy again heading right, finds Dan Hyatt, skips out of one, but he's into touch.
Oh, you got to love that niggle, don't you? So necessary, so necessary. It goes low, yeah, I'll run out by foot, we carry on. Oh, a shoulder. What was that? Boswell Wakefield. A little bit of argy-bargy, the reserves venting some of their frustrations.
Well, that one is not straight, and Mavai Pulu takes full tow. Andrew Horrell was getting towed like he was on a sled getting dragged on the Arctic by a husky.
That sums it up right there, isn't it? Mama Vaipulu gets well over the advantage line. They've got no one there. Chance for a quick pick and go, and they knock the ball on.
He dragged him on the ground.
Oh, he tried to pop it up.
In the ultimate analysis of this game, those are the moments. The one pop too many. The offload that wasn't required.
Kicking of the ball when they didn't need to.
And they're a better team than they're showing tonight. 30 points to 11 the scoreline. Hawke's Bay will likely win this contest. Counties Manukau will be left to rue a number of missed opportunities. Make no mistake, this Hawke's Bay side is the real deal, and they have quality across the park and on the bench. And their captain has been outstanding again. Brendan O'Connor sets on the halfway line. Big offside in midfield. Sam Iono, the culprit. He's there making the tackle. In fact, no, he's bugged out. Setting up for the next one. Popped over the top by Dag. Finds O'Connor. And the two number 8s come together. Wanga. Horrell again hit hard, Andrew Horrell, but got his pass away to Chris Eden. One off the deck for him. Beautiful offload to Dag. And Israel Dag now finds Wanga. And Wanga frees it up, gets one round the corner. That's forward.
That's a long arm. That was a long arm for the big offload. It's drifted forward just like that. Would have been a wonderful try. That worked from Eaton. He took the hit. Such a strong halfback. Watch this. Horrell offloads back inside the step. They miss acceleration. The fend. Beautiful hands off the deck.
How's this from Tolu Fa'amukiao?
Look at that. That's beautiful. Dag. He keeps it alive. Great hands from Waka. Only slightly forward. The old days it's play on.
Still a scrum gets crumpled. And Braidwood stands up. Puts the jersey down. He was running the Stephen Donald program for a second there.
So Hawke's Bay, they've got the shield. They're playing well. Everything's going for them. And the best they can do is hold on to it. And then look forward to trying to make it back to the premiership, where they've got a premiership quality team.
Coach! Point! Set!
Crossover match, of course, as Piers Francis ducks under one. Hawke's Bay about to become just the second championship team this year to get success over a premiership side. Wellington doing the damage on Taranaki in round one. I will say this, if Wellington and Hawke's Bay continue the way they're playing, it'll be one epic championship final. A lot of water to go under the bridge yet, though. Start calling finalists in this competition. Dangaeri with the throw. It's easy pickings for Tony Lambourne at the back as they make their way up to the 10-metre line. Hawke's Bay looking for the bonus point try, which will be next on their list. And here goes Lambourne. Tony Lambourne in field to Ropiha. There for the captain, Brendan O'Connor. Boswell Wakefield finds Buckman. And Buckman's taken down by Carter Fainga. Eaton's there. Short ball to Allardyce. Marginal, one might say. Here goes Cressida and Shannon Chase. Beautifully worked try between the blindside winger and the halfback.
This is beautiful to watch. Recognition that there's space on the short side. Counties are scrambling. Damage was done. And I tell you what, they've been so efficient. And you watch here, this is Lambourne. Coach Philpott before the game, he talked about this guy, saying hoping some people are watching because he is playing outstanding rugby. And then 2-on-1, Vainga in no man's land. Hell, I can't get there. Chase runs through, easy as you like. Puller's looking around going, where was the short side defence? It's a great offload. That's the benefit of having an experienced halfback. On your bench, you can come on and make decisions like that.
Israel Dagg, 1 from 1 last week.
Just in case they wanted any reminders, I can kick two. That's where he's just going. Hope someone's watching. See if I can slot this one from the sideline. No, I can't kick from the sideline.
Well, not on that occasion, anyway. He's a wonderful player, Israel Dagg. It's just great to watch him in ITM Cup action. And he'll be hoping he is part of that team. 31 named by the All Black coaches. 6:30 p.m. We are live on Sky Sport from the Banquet Hall in Parliament. Piers Francis kicks in this one. Grabbed by Ryan Tongia. Had to fight for it. It's good hustle from Tongia. Back for Horrell. Shifted into first 5 in place of Ehire West. And again the skipper fighting for everything. Braidwood. And the big man sets on the 10. Here's Horrell. Good depth on the attack now from Hawke's Bay, but the passing not great. O'Connor had to stop and reach for it. 77.5 gone. Bonus point in the bank for Hawke's Bay. They'll go 3-0. And Trent Boswell Wakefield says we're not finished. Gets his offload to Horrell. And Horrell cut down. 2 out from the 22. It's there for Eaton. Dagg up at first receiver. And the kick through from him is cleaned up by Fafita.
Well picked up by Fafita. They had a 2-on-1 on the outside there. The defence had come up. Israel Dagg just put a little bit on it as predicted. I'm sure they will go and they'll try and go the length.
Vaipulu. 10 out from their own line. Hansey gets harassed and Chris Eaton rolls on through. Toinga Fussy now. Hansey will get a second chance. Trying to kick over the top as Di Thierry. That one's been knocked down. Knocked down again. Counties Manukau still have it. Vaipulu. Tries to fend off Billy Rupiha. Can't do so. Hansey, short ball. Sam Iono. Still slow, laboured at breakdown time. Here's Nambu trying to break the line, gets his offload away. That one is dropped. They'll have a scrum. Just not their night.
I think that's it. It's not their night.
Time off.
And I guess, plenty of credit too to Hawke's Bay. I mean, they just haven't allowed Counties Manukau to get into the rhythm of the game.
They're a really good team. They're a really good team on paper, and they've been a really good team out on the field tonight.
Okay.
Two good teams playing tomorrow. Eden Park, 2:30 p.m. Just like the old days, Auckland taking on Canterbury. And then we move to Yarrow Stadium in New Plymouth, 5:30 p.m. Taranaki looking for their first win over Otago. And then Wellington will take on Northland. 7:30 p.m. that one from Westpac Stadium. Saturday footy, triple header. The ITM Cup round 3 continues live all season on Sky Sport. Off the back is Boswell Wakefield. Eaton saw half a hole, and then this one. They can't even pick up an intercept play. Counties Manukau at the moment. And they'll go back to the drawing board after this with Tana Umaga. Frank Halai's return to ITM Cup action. Will result in a big defeat here at home. For the third straight week, Hawke's Bay put 35 or more on the board. And Vaipulu, who has given it his all today, takes another carry up inside the 22-metre. They stay. Vainga. Picked up by Fafita. And he can't make too much progress. Hansi now to Hyatt. Hyatt to Pulu, and Pulu to Halai. Still they run the Steelers side, and that one's gone forward.
Just end it. End it there.
Referee Asor does just that. Hawke's Bay have come to Pukekohe and they've taken everything here. 35 points to 11. A bonus point victory led by that man, Brendan O'Connor, with plenty of help for some very classy players.
Impressive performance from Hawke's Bay. They've come here, they've been efficient, they've been accurate. The pressure on Counties. Counties never really able to get their game going. And that scoreline, it suggests it were dominant, and it was. Counties in the first half had some opportunities they weren't able to capitalise on. Hawke's Bay, when they got in the right parts of the field, they took away points. And they were classy, and they deserve the win.